All right, so this is your review for your quiz number 2. Again, just question or sections 9.2 and 9.3. If you remember from 9.2, we worked on transformations. So if we look at numbers 1 through 7, we're just stating each of the transformations. For number 1, we have f of x is equal to 2x minus 4. That 2 that's in front of the x, the coefficient of x, is not inside parentheses, so that transformation that's happening is happening vertically. So we have a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. And then that minus 4, again, is not in parentheses, so we're just going down 4 units. For number 2, we have g of x is equal to the absolute value of 2x minus 4. Now this 2, that's the coefficient of x, is inside the parentheses, so take the reciprocal of that, which is 1/2. That 1/2 is less than 1 but greater than 0, so that means that we have a horizontal compression by a factor of 1/2. Then we have that minus 4 that comes after the x inside the absolute value bars. So this means that we're going to the right 4 units. For number 3, we have h of x is equal to negative x squared plus 3. First thing that we see is that negative in front of the x squared, which means that we are reflecting. It's not inside parentheses, so it's reflecting vertically up and down, so we're reflecting across the x-axis. From there, we have that plus 3. Again, that plus 3 is not in parentheses, so we're going up 3 units. For number 4, we have y is equal to the square root of x plus 6 minus 5. Underneath that radical, we have that plus 6. So we're going to the left 6 units. Then we have that minus 5 after the radical, so we're also going down 5 units. Next, for number 5, we have y is equal to the square root of negative 1/3 x plus 7 minus 2. First thing that we are going to work with is that negative under the radical. Since it's under the radical, we're reflecting, but we're reflecting horizontally, so we're reflecting across the y-axis. Next, we have that 1/3. Take the reciprocal of that 1/3, you have 3. 3 is greater than 1, so we have a horizontal stretch by a factor of 3. Lastly, we have that, or no, not last, I'm sorry. Next, we have that plus 7, so we're going to the left 7 units. Then lastly, we have that minus 2, so we're also going down 2 units. For number 6, we have x is equal to y squared minus 2. So for this one, we do not have it equal to y, and when we're working with functions, we want f of x is equal to g of x is equal to something of x, a function of x is equal to, or y is equal to. So in this case, you have to solve the equation for y. So the first thing we're going to do is move the 2 over by adding it to both sides. We get y squared is equal to x plus 2. We want y, not y squared, so we're going to take the square root of both sides. When we do this, we're just going to take the positive of the square root. So we have y is equal to the square root of x plus 2. The only transformation that's happening here is that plus 2 that's under the radical, so we're going to the left 2 units. For number 7, we have y is equal to negative 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 3. So again, we're going to work part by part for this. First, we have that negative that's in front of the 2, not under or not inside the parentheses. So we're reflecting, but we're reflecting horizontal or vertically, so we're reflecting across the x-axis. Next, we have that 2. 2 is in front of the parentheses, so keep it the way it is. It's greater than 1, so we have a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Next, we have minus 1 inside the parentheses, so think opposite. It would be positive 1, so we're going to be going to the right 1 unit. And lastly, that plus 3 outside the parentheses after it just means we're going up 3 units. The next part of your review comes from 9.3, and it's just working with these operations of functions. So we're going to let f of x be 5x minus 2, and g of x is going to be x squared minus 3x. For example 8, we are doing f plus g of x. So we're going to take f of x and add it to g of x. F of x, we said, is 5x minus 2. G of x is x squared minus 3x. If we get rid of these parentheses and just combine like terms, we're going to have f plus g of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 2. For number 9, we're doing f minus g of 2. So we're going to do f of 2 minus g of 2. F of 2 is going to be 5 times 2 minus 2. G of 2 is going to be 2 squared minus 3 times 2. The 5 times 2 gives us 10 minus 2 in the first set of brackets, which become parentheses. The 2 squared is 4. The negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. From here, the 10 minus 2 gives us 8. The 4 minus 4 minus 6 gives us negative 2. Remember, two negatives next to each other turn into positives, and 8 plus 2 gives us 10. So f minus g of 2 is equal to 10. For number 10, we're doing f times g of 5. So this is going to be the same thing as saying take f of 5 times g of 5. So f of x we said was the 5x minus 2. G of x we said was x squared minus 3x. So this is going to be 5 times 5 minus 2 times 5 squared minus 3 times 5. From here, that 5 times 5 is 25. 5 squared is 25. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Next, we're going to have 25 minus 2, which is 23, times 25 minus 15, which is 10. 23 times 10 is 230, so f times g of 5 is equal to 30. Oh, sorry, not 30. 230. Oops. There we go. For number 11, we are doing f divided by g of 4. So we can do f of 4 over g of 4. This is going to give us 5 times 4 minus 2 over 4 squared minus 3 times 4. The 5 times 4 is 20. The 4 squared is 16. The negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. The 20 minus 2 gives us 18. The 16 minus 12 gives us 4. So from here we divide or simplify our fraction. They're both divisible by 2, so the 4 becomes a 2, 18 becomes 9, and we have that f divided by g of 4 is equal to 9 over 2. For number 12, we're doing f of g of 3. So originally, this is written for us as f of g of 3. We can rewrite this to be f of g of 3, which just means we're going to plug in the 3 for x in g of x, and then whatever we get from there, we're going to plug in for the x in f of x. We said before that g of x is the x squared minus 3x, so g of 3 is going to be 3 squared minus 3 times 3. The 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. So ultimately, we're doing f of 0. If we do f of 0, we're going to plug in 0 for f of x, which is 5 times x, which is 0, minus 2. 5 times 0 is 0, minus 2 gives us f of g of 3 is negative 2. For number 13, we have f of g of x. So again, we can just rewrite this to make it look a little bit better or a little easier. It's the same exact thing as saying f of g of x. Take g of x and plug it in for x and f of x. G of x, we said, is x squared minus 3x. So really, we're doing f of x squared minus 3x. So if f of x is 5x minus 2, we're going to take that x squared minus 3x and we're going to plug it in for the x in that 5x minus 2. So we're going to have f of g of x is equal to 5 times x squared minus 3x minus 2. Distribute it in that 5. And this is going to give us f of g of x is equal to 5x squared minus 15x minus 2.